Hey everyone, Gabe here from drumbeatsonline.com, a website that helps you become a better drummer. Today we are learning the 3 best beginner drum exercises, and these are some really awesome ones, so I'm really excited to share them with you. Before we jump into that, I just wanted to let you know about my free 4-week beginner drum lesson course. It's called The Beginner's Guide to Drumming. So if that's something that you're interested in, if you're just starting off and you want a great free resource, make sure you click in the link in the description to check it out. But keep watching this video because we've got some great exercises. So with that said, let's jump right into it. So the point of these 3 exercises is not only to help you as a beginner drummer and learn some cool new beats, but it's to pave the way to help you become a really well-rounded drummer as you continue to grow and to apply these things to a bunch of other different beats, which is really cool. So the way we're going to do that is we're going to focus on placement of pretty much all of our limbs. So we're going to focus on our hi-hat placement for the first exercise, snare placement for the second exercise, and kick placement for the third exercise. And all 3 of these are really going to help you in all of your beats. And all 3 of these exercises are going to be in 4/4 time. So pretty much what that means is in the length of 1 measure, which is essentially just playing 1 drum beat, we are going to have 4 quarter notes, which is just going to be like this: 1, 2, 3, 4. So when you hear me say something like, we're going to put the kick drum on beat 1, that just means we're going to put it on that first click. Make sense? So like I said, for our first exercise, we are going to be focusing on hi-hat placement. So the beat that we're going to be playing is just a beat of kick drum on beats 1 and 3, and then snare drum on beats 2 and 4. So those 2 things alone would sound like this. So that is going to stay the same the entire time. Now what we're going to do is we are going to start messing with the hi-hat. So we're going to do a rotation of 3 measures. For the first measure, we are going to play quarter notes on the hi-hat. Then the second time around, we are going to add 1/8 notes on the hi-hat. So now we're going to be adding a hi-hat in between all of those notes that we just did. So the counting for that is going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then for that third measure, we are going to play 16th notes on the hi-hat. So now we are going to take both of our hands, put them on the hi-hat, and for every quarter note that we hear, we're going to play 4 notes. So there's going to be 16 notes in that measure. So the hard part here is going to be keeping our kick drum and our snare drum consistent as the hi-hat is changing. But this is really going to help you grow in a lot of ways and in a lot of your beats. So let's check out what these exercises sound like at a couple different tempos. Check it out. So for exercise number 2, we are working on our snare placement now. So our hi-hat pattern and our kick drum pattern are now going to be in sync and staying the same throughout each measure. But now the snare drum is going to change. So the hi-hat and the kick drum pattern is going to be eighth notes on the hi-hat. So that's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and then the kick drum, we're going to be playing on beat 1 and the and of 3. So let me play those two together for you real quick so you can hear how it sounds, and then we will start throwing in the snare drum. So what we're going to do in this exercise is very similar to the last one. We're just going to start moving our snare drum placement around. So for the first measure, we are going to throw our snare drum on beat 3 only. And that might feel a little bit weird with the kick drum coming right after it. And then for the second measure, we are going to put the snare drum on beats 2 and 4. And then for the last measure, we are going to add the snare drum on every quarter note. So beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So for this exercise, I'm going to play each measure 4 times so you can get a better feel for how these sound, because they sound a little bit more weird. And then after we go through that, then we will start repeating them one measure after the other. So let's hear it at a few different tempos. So for exercise number 3, we are going to be moving the kick drum around, which means our hi-hat and our snare drum are going to be consistent the whole time. Our hi-hat, we're going to be playing quarter notes on beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. And then our snare drum, we're just going to play on beats 2 and 4. So let's hear how that sounds, and then we'll start throwing the kick drum all around. Okay, now time to have a little bit of fun with the kick drum. So what we're going to do at first is just play the kick drum on beats 1 and 3, and that's a beat that we've already played in the first exercise. Then for the second measure, we are going to be playing the kick drum on all the quarter notes, beats 1, 2, 3, and 4. So that's just going to follow our hi-hat the whole time. Now the third measure is where things get tricky. We are going to be playing the kick drum on the and of every beat. So we're going to be playing it in between every note on the hi-hat. So that's where things might trip you up a little bit, but just stay with it. Let's hear how this sounds all together at a couple different tempos. Check it out. The key with all of these exercises is to have patience and to stick with it. Some of these are going to be harder than the others, but those are going to be the ones that help you grow the most. So like I said, if you want a 4-week free drum lesson course called The Beginner's Guide to Drumming, make sure you click the link in the description below to get full access to it. Or if you're ready to get serious about your playing right away, check out Ultimate Beginner Drum Lessons, which you can check out right here. Also, I'll be sending a pair of Vic Firth drumsticks, a pack of Moon Gels, to one lucky winner who subscribes, hits the notification bell, and leaves a nice comment in the comment section below. I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be nice, but it would be great if it was. But anyway, guys, make sure you do that because you could win some drumsticks and some Moon Gels. Thank you so much for watching this video, guys. It really means a lot to me, and I hope that these exercises really help you out in your drumming. Again, thank you, and I will see you in next week's video. Bye.